Tesla Roadster car. So, that's a pretty big difference. 55 to 211. I mean, I can see why Tesla is kind of pissed off that BBC won't stop airing the episode. Because it's just, to nowadays, it's like if they're talking about their new cars, what are we supposed to think as consumers? So moving forward, Tesla the man. Now, bringing this up because Tesla Motors, it's kind of funny how they're getting attacked and this stuff is happening because it's almost like a play from a long, long time ago, where once there was a man named Nikola Tesla. And if you haven't heard of Nikola Tesla, then go read a history book. If you really don't know who this man is, and because you only have a common education, then you need to find out, because this man is literally the father of electricity. I mean, you want to say Edison is, but really that man, I mean, there's a lot of things about Edison that are interesting. But Tesla was really, when it comes to understanding and controlling and harnessing electricity, he was an evolutionary soul. And he was attacked. He was ridiculed towards the end of his existence and completely demeaned. And then come to find out what happened, he died and the government collected all of his stuff and got patents for everything because his technology was so far advanced. This man could literally see a machine or an electronic device that he was building inside of his mind, all the pieces, the parts, the engine, capacitor, whatever he was building, because he worked on a lot of different projects. We're actually going to go in more to this man another day. I would like to do a whole segment on him under Religions and Science as Revealed. Tesla, the man in modern science, because it really is. He is, you could even say, the modern father of electricity, because he discovered free energy. He also was the one who was an advocate for DC current, not AC current. Edison was a huge advocate of AC current, and he even used it to kill an elephant. And that's what they used to kill us in electrical chairs, guys. So the whole problem is that AC current, kills us, and it creates a electromagnetic discharge to our actual electromagnetic waves of our cardiac system. So when you have all this AC current flowing through your walls and flowing through your devices and flowing all around you, just to let you know, there could be a positive ionic effect on your body. And this is where we get a little further into this new energies from an old world. The world itself, in situations like the Himalayas or in atmospheres such as the Himalayas, major waterfalls such as Niagara Falls, those kind of places, they have a high negative ion production. And it's the Earth. The Earth produces these massive negative ions. They also produce positive ions, but our electrical world and concrete world that we've created as man actually produce way more positive ions than natural in the common world. So the problem here is that when it comes to electricity and energy, we're not really paying attention to what the old world or the old cultures already knew about it, is that it isn't just this thing that you can harness and that's it and use it as a tool. It is a physical matter. It is something that exists in a dimension that we may not be able to fully perceive, but we utilize it, so therefore it's something that affects us. And that is something we need to pay attention to. How does it affect us? And if it can kill you, and it's running all around you, what is that really doing to you? Like, I've got wires right now, and I'm really disappointed I have to have them, but I'm still working on my battery setup. But I've got, 3, 4, 5 batteries that are hooked up to 3-volt solar panels up top on my roof. And I get really good charge from them. They're small solar panels, but, I've got fully charged 5 batteries that I can hook up to all my stuff, but I'm just waiting for the converter box, because the box I have now is just a hook up to charge battery and plug in like a light and things like that. But it's as simple as that. I have solar energy running, and this is where it gets really interesting. What is the difference between AC, DC, solar, wind, water, free, all the different kinds of energies? And this is where it gets really interesting, or electricities. There's a lot of controversy coming out right now. You'll hear me say this all the time. A lot of controversy coming out right now with solar energy and wind energy and free energy, and that these energies are more. I'm trying to think of a term here. By the way, folks, I just take down notes and then I do all this freehand when I'm talking to you. So I just got references I'm referring to, and then I'm just kind of spitting stuff out. So this isn't a script. I know sometimes I can read and it seems scripted because I'll read a couple notes and then I'll get into kind of a pitter-patter. But let's see. So basically, these other energies, they resonate better with our natural toroidal field, that bioelectrical field we were talking about earlier. So when you have an electricity that surrounds you, like in your walls or with your machines that you use, that actually resonates better with your bioelectrical field. One, you resonate better with your devices because your vibration or your resonance is similar in pattern. And two, it doesn't bother the health of the cells or the health of the body as much. Now, the reason this is, well, with solar, definitely, it's already affecting us. We already are being affected by the electricity of the sun, the actual solar radiation, because that's actually what's being absorbed is the radiation from the light. The photonic cells are absorbing that light, the photons. So we do that naturally. Plants do that. I mean, they convert it to energy. Like that's what solar panels are based off. So it's a natural occurrence. When you force the production of energy and harness it through the AC current and convert it, that's when it changes. And it becomes this destructive force that you see, in the movies where the bolts dancing around. But at the same time, there's also free energy where you can have the bolt dance around and you can stand in it and it's not as bad. I believe it's free energy that passes through you. You can have it pass right through you and it doesn't bother you at all. It's amazing. But free energy is from the planet. It's from the bioelectrical structure of the planet and how there's bioelectricity everywhere. And that's what free energy is. You can actually do an experiment with two different kinds of metal. I think it's steel and copper. You put it in the earth, you run a wire, and you can get a charge out of it. It's a small charge, but it shows you that there is a current going on. There's a general current between the polarities of the metals with the difference in the earth. So it's pretty phenomenal to think about that we're using an electricity that actually hurts us, that might actually kill us. I mean, what does that mean? Just like how we're using crude oils and resources such as timber that is destroying the planet. Well, we're doing the same with our normal technology every day, and that's where now cell phones, radiation, everything, radiation. Well, with that electromagnetic, here's a question. Would that electromagnetic radiation be as bad if it was all solar energy, seeing how we're used to that? And that's where it gets really interesting. I'm not really too intelligent when it comes to the knowledge of converting solar energy into usable energy. I'm actually learning about that right now. That's why I have the 5 batteries in the setup. And I'm working with one of my companies, Able One Services, to provide smart house technology where you utilize sustainable housing techniques such as solar, wind, and then also doing waterfalls inside homes, which is continuous free energy because all you do is you supply some energy to pumping the water, and then the falling creates more. There's different systems you can do with that generate more energy than it uses. Pretty fun because of suction blast, the way physics works. But there's all sorts of things you can do with this stuff, folks, and I'll be bringing you more as I develop as a person into this stuff. But I hope you're really staying with me and enjoying this concept here that we might have a different form of electricity that we could use healthier and better for our bodies. Just think about it, folks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to launch some commercials, and then we're going to go a little bit further into some of what else Tesla discovered when it comes to the earth energies, some of his technology he sold to countries, and things like those things. So give me a sec here, folks. We'll go ahead and get some commercials for you and get that back at you.
Vaccines are required for students, employees, immigrants, military members, and international travel. Do you know how to legally avoid them? This is Vaccine Rights Attorney and Freedomizer Radio host Alan Phillips. My vaccine exemption ebook can help you avoid the mistakes that have cost others their exemption rights. Get the authoritative guide to vaccine legal exemptions, an ebook available at freedomizerradio.com and vaccinerights.com.
Let freedom ring throughout the land.
My name is Dr. Eric Norman. I have studied vitamin B12 deficiency for over 35 years. I have developed the urinary MMA test to detect tissue B12 deficiency early, allowing treatment and prevention of permanent disability. B12 deficiency can cause anemia, but also neurologic problems such as spinal cord degeneration, paranoia, and dementia. B12 is found only in animal sources, so vegetarians become deficient. As people age, they may not produce enough stomach acid or intrinsic factor protein for absorption of B12 and become deficient. Up to 10% of seniors may have a normal serum B12 level, but a tissue B12 deficiency, causing a 3 times greater risk for heart attack, stroke, or Alzheimer's. For more information, visit b12.com.
Hey everybody, this is Thrice with Thrice's Daily Download. Don't forget to check us out on freedomizerradio.com while you're listening to us live. You can go into our chat room where you can talk about the latest things going on in truth relations and being an independent American here in this world, fighting for our rights. You also get some micro bitcoins there, talking to your friends and sharing all this useful information. You can also, if you don't want to call in, share information through the chat room with us while we're on the air, or with me, Thrice, on Thrice's Daily Download.
I'm Angie Morelli, and I'm with GMO Free Vegas. So what are we going to do about this now? Well, to begin with, we advocate the labeling of genetically engineered food, or foods with GMOs. Regardless of how you feel about the GMO issue, we can agree that we should at least have a choice of being informed about what we put into our bodies. We won't have a choice until these foods are properly labeled. We must remember who we're fighting in this battle. We are fighting corporations selling us poison, backed by corporations making us poison, and these corporations will only respond to one kind of vote, the vote that we make with our dollars. Recently, Yoplait faced so much criticism over high fructose corn syrup that they removed it from all of their yogurts. Right before and after the march against Monsanto in May, we saw major corporations like Whole Foods, Target, and Chipotle make major announcements about deciding to label and or phase out GMOs. This is happening because of us, because we will solve this as making demands as consumers first. Starting right now, we're going to boycott corn. This is all you have to do, is don't buy corn. Corn on the cob, corn in a can, corn in a mix at a restaurant, any visible kernels of corn. All we are asking for people to do right now is to boycott corn. This is going to be a clear, completely simple message that will definitely get back to its makers. We won't stand for poison. We won't stand for cronyism, and that is why we march against Monsanto.
There is a new program on the Freedomizer Network, Bloody Beak Radio, punching the New World Order in the nose. Bloody Beak Radio is here to inform you on a wide variety of topics revolving around current and recent events. The main thrust of the show is not just to inform you of the problems we face, but rather, how do we analyze them in a way that we can use to create counter-propaganda and use that knowledge in our everyday lives. In a sense, how do we market the truth? Bloody Beak Radio will give you the tools to win the information war so we can destroy the barriers that divide the people and have a peaceful revolution. Join your host, Kyle Baker, on Sunday evenings to have an honest discussion about how to win the numbers game and ensure that we decide the tipping point, not them.
Lindsey Williams on Freedomizer Radio.
Proof Negative, I love the title that you use on your radio. I've thought about it ever since we talked on off of the air the other day, and I'd say that that's an excellent title for a talk show host.
Are you dedicated to ending the New World Order? Well, it's time to make way for spontaneous